What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another diagnostic pick rate video for 2v8 mode in Dead by Daylight. We have now had 4 separate iterations of 2v8 mode come and go, with each time getting bigger and better with more killers being added, and we now have up to 13 choices to pick in 2v8. So, quite a variety in the pick rates here, if I'm honest. Last time we had Resident Evil with Wesker, Nemesis, and then we had some of the Resident Evil skins like William Birkin for the Blight and Hunk for the Legion, with of course Legion being added as well. And now this time around we had Oni and Ghostface added. So I was very intrigued to see what that was going to look like because obviously Ghostface is a pretty popular, fun killer as well. So we're just going to truck right along here, and I'll start off by showing you guys my pick rates. And yeah, I played a little bit of everybody across the board, as I do try to do every time. However, I will say I did try to play a bit more for my own fun this time around. Typically, I am like watching the stats as we go, and I try to play more of the killers that I haven't played as much because I try to play a little bit of everybody, which I still did, but I honestly tried to play more for my own fun this time, and I really was not enjoying Trapper, Spirit, or Huntress, or even Nurse that much at all. I've honestly found Nurse to be a decent amount of fun in the past, but I was not doing very good with her this time around. Same for Huntress. Couldn't hit any shots. I was doing better with Slinger and Wesker than I was with Huntress or Nurse, so I didn't really enjoy them. And I found Spirit very hard to play this time around because everybody was running the build where they're silent after one hook, and when they were healthy, even when they were injured, it was just really difficult, and I just didn't find her as satisfying to play. And Trapper can be absolutely miserable in this mode, especially if you go all into just committing to like a main building trap or something, or one corner, and like 3 survivors go and tag team disarming all your traps. I just found him very miserable to play. So I honestly was just playing the killers that I had the most fun with, like Wesker, Nemesis, Ghostface, Oni, and Hillbilly, of course. I still think is underrated in this mode, very much so. So those are my picks. It's, kind of got a general line across the board, other than the couple that I played a little bit more. But looking at my teammates' picks is actually a bit interesting because they kind of fall in line with mine a bit. Obviously a little bit of variation here. More Trapper than I played by far. Less Billy by far, and less Nurse, which seems to be a recurring theme every time here. People don't seem to like Billy and Nurse in this mode. But other than that, it's fairly similar across the board from what I played. Obviously, Wesker was still the top picked killer, and Ghostface was played almost twice as much as I personally played him, so I did enjoy that. That was kind of what I was expecting. I was actually surprised looking at the final total that I didn't play Ghostface more than I did, because I thought that I did. I kind of felt like I played him a decent amount, but I guess I didn't play him as much as I thought I did. But same for Oni, they played him more as well, which I like to see. I like to see the new additions being played more than the ones that have been in it a while, so I'm not that upset about Billy and Nurse not getting picked as much, or even Huntress for that matter. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that my picks kind of lined up with my teammates more than usual. If you look at some of the previous diagnostic videos, my picks are almost always opposite as my teammates, which, like I say, the only thing that really varied that way was Billy Nurse and Trapper. But the Billy and Nurse thing has kind of always been that way, so I thought it was interesting those lined up. Now, moving on, the next page here is going to show you all the killers that I went against when I was playing Survivor, which, of course, I didn't play as much Survivor as I did Killer. I never do. Which, if you add up all the numbers here, you guys can calculate the math on how long I spent waiting in queue for Killer over the course of 2 weeks. And interestingly enough, this was the first release of 2v8 mode that did not get extended. I do believe all of the 3 iterations prior to this were extended by about a week or so. So that was interesting that was not extended for the first time. I guess I figure since it's recurring more and more often that there's no need to extend it because it's going to be a recurring mode now. So I guess that makes sense, but I thought that was worth noting. Again, we faced more Weskers than anything else, and a lot of Ghost Faces. And we still played against a decent amount of Huntresses. Um, and then it was kind of split between Legion, Nemesis, Spirit, and then I actually didn't really play against that many Onis, which I thought was interesting considering the amount of teammates that I played with that were Oni. But yeah, I'm not surprised about Wesker and Ghostface. If you guys want to see the final tally here, this is the total number of times each killer was played, including my picks. So Wesker blown out of the water, number one. I definitely contribute for that. He's so much fun in 2v8 with 3 bounds. If you guys haven't checked out the short of me getting a cross map with 3 bounds, check that out. It's pretty disgusting. Wesker feels just so good to play. And in my add-ons video where I talk about the skills and the breakdown of which add-ons are basically put into the skills of each killer, Wesker's abilities are not related to any specific add-ons, which I liked because it lets you play him differently than you normally can in the 1v4 and experiment with new play styles and new tricks around tiles and stuff. So I really enjoyed playing him. Same for Ghostface. Nemesis, as always, was fun. Legion is fun too. I still found Legion frustrating from time to time, but it almost made me want to play him more in a way because I knew Legion has the potential to be good, and didn't have as many downsides. It's like a trapper. So, I wanted to keep trying him out. But yeah, we played, honestly, a decent amount of Onis and Ghostface, still a decent amount of Legion, Nemesis, a ton of Weskers, and I seen a good amount of Blights this time around, which was a nice change. I feel like last time, or the time before last, rather, when we had Blightslinger and Spirit, Blight was like the least played, which I thought was weird because I thought everybody loves playing Blight. I thought he's pretty popular in the 1v4. Moving on, though, all the picks without mine, this is like really your true community pick. So these picks here represent everything without my pick. So this is really your true graph here because obviously I'm a little biased. I'm a Nemesis main, so I try to play him probably closer to the most. And then especially this time around, I was playing more of who I found the most fun, but also, I still try to play a little bit of everybody. So your community picks here are probably the most accurate thing you want to look at because it's a lot of different players, so it's a wider sample of different players and different trials. So we still have Wesker with the most, and then Ghostface number 2 if you take away my picks. So I think technically they were really close to tied. If you count all the picks with mine, Legion and Ghostface are tied. But because Ghostface had more picks overall from the community without my picks, I gave third place to Ghostface and broke the tie and gave Legion fourth. Because I felt like that was a better representation of the data and a better sample from the community as a whole, as opposed to including my picks in there as well. So, because we had, like, Ghostface was like number 2 or number 3 for almost every category for my teammate picks and the one that I went against. So I thought that was a better representation. But again, more of the recent additions being played more, and the first original 5 being played the least, which I kind of like. Again, I mean, I've always been a fan of playing more of the killers that we haven't had as many opportunities to play, more often. Of course, not neglect these guys because you want to check out the new synergies with some of the newly added killers. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this diagnostic. You guys let me know what you think, if there was anything that you were surprised about at all. And I can pull up real quick if you guys want to check out the comparisons from the last couple of times. So the last time around here, we had version 3. So we had Wesker, the most picked, and then overall, without mine, was Legion and then Nemesis. So pretty similar here, although Trapper through Blight were pretty consistent with each other. And this time around, that was not the case. We kind of had a drop in these 5, and then Spirit through Blight kind of be in the middle ground, and then the last 5 killers kind of all be taking the high ground of picks. So that's the pick rate for 2v8 this time around. We'll see who gets added next iteration. You guys let me know down in the comments below who you were surprised to see getting picked the most, or who you weren't and why, who you predict will be added to 2v8 next time, who you'd like to see, and even just leave me some video ideas. Join the Discord if you guys haven't already. We've got an opinions lab in there, so you can let us know what kind of stuff you want us to cover, if you enjoy the diagnostics, all that good stuff. Check out all the videos we made this time around on this 2v8 for strategies, whether it be the class guides or the skills breakdown. And of course, in the following weeks, we are going to be finishing the killer tournament. We're almost done with round 1. That's going to go up next week. And then we will move on to round 2, and it'll start speeding up from there. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.